The first scenario, will demonstrate how easy cross-border mobility for students using EBSI can be. The scenario has seen Spain, Belgium, and Italy collaborate amazingly, and will illustrate how the journey of Eva, a Spanish citizen who will get her educational credentials in Spain, to start a cross-border journey to Belgium, and will then carry out an Erasmus mobility program in Italy to complete her graduation. In this scenario, you will have the opportunity to see how identity, European Student Identifier, a bachelor, a transcript, and a master educational credentials are used. All this will happen in the context of one of the best mobility programs for students in Europe. Now I give the floor to Ellen, or for today, I should better say Eva. So Ellen, Eva, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Luis. Good morning, everyone. We as EBSI early adopters are very excited to showcase, after a year of hard work, the first multi-university pilot of the day. Who are we? Well, we start in Spain. The public services in Spain are represented by José Manuel Panizo Plaza. He's an innovation project manager at the Royal Spanish Mines, and Montaña Mercan, technologies coordinator at the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Digital Transformation. They enable a service for Spanish citizens to acquire a verifiable identity. But we also work with educational credentials in our scenario, issued by 3 different European universities. In Spain, the University Rovira y Virgili is represented by Luis Alfonso Ariño, the convener of the EBSI diploma use case. My name is Ellen Lerouge. I'm head of administrative applications for students at the IT department of KU Leuven in Belgium. And I work on this pilot with my colleague Jan Ducajou, who coordinates new initiatives within our university. And last but not least, we work together with the University of Bologna in Italy, represented by Sergio Storari, head of the Digital Identity Office, and Andrea Roberta Costagliola, a research fellow at Unibo. We started our EBSI journey in July 2021 with 2 universities within Una Europa, more precisely the KU Leuven University and University of Bologna. Una Europa is an alliance of 11 universities across Europe, and therefore an ideal candidate for the EBSI Early Adopter Program and a multi-university pilot. The focus within Una Europa is on the exchange of educational credentials between our partner universities. But in a second phase, in January of this year, our dreams became bigger. We wanted to go beyond the alliance, first through the exchange of credentials with other European universities outside Una Europa, and secondly, by including non-educational credentials, specifically an identity credential, in our pilots. And therefore, we were excited to extend the Una Europa pilot with the national Spanish pilot, where the Royal Spanish Mines issues a verifiable identity and the University Rovira y Virgili issues verifiable diplomas. So today we will demo the exchange of verifiable credentials between these institutions in a cross-border setting, so including Spain, Belgium, and Italy. How did we become EBSI early adopters? Well, we can explain this through some figures from Una Europa. With 11 universities across 11 European countries, we have over 600,000 active students each year. And every year, the number of students moving between our universities increases. To facilitate and promote this mobility, our ambition is to create an ecosystem in which all students move seamlessly, virtually as well as physically. And one part of this ecosystem consists of the exchange of diplomas and credits between the institutions of the consortium, but also beyond, in a secure and a fraud-proof manner. And we believe that EBSI could help us achieve this goal. What do we expect from this digital transformation within our universities? Well, the ultimate goal is to offer digital credentials, not just in a PDF format, but in a universal standardized data format. In this way, shared credentials can be processed automatically and faster compared to their paper version. And for educational credentials, the European learning model provides this single format to describe certificates of credits, degrees, diplomas, supplements, and any other kind of claims that are related to learning. So this European learning model is the enabler for educational credentials. Secondly, we want to empower our students with digital trustworthy certificates, especially in the context of lifelong learning, but also to promote mobility. It becomes important that students gain verifiable, shareable, but also portable records of achievement that enable them to take their credentials on the go for presentation to third parties. These digital credentials should facilitate a relationship between the student and our university. So we aspire happier students through simpler processes and less paperwork. And a final important objective, especially in the European context of GDPR, is the privacy of our students. Privacy must be guaranteed at all times, with the student able to choose what information is shared with whom, based on the concept of selective data disclosure. And all of this must be realized with consideration for our environment. So the ecological footprint of the infrastructure that facilitates this must be as small as possible. With these objectives in mind, we set up a scenario with focus on studying abroad. On this slide, I want to emphasize the different dimensions of our scenario without going into detail, since we will hopefully give a live demo. So it's a cross-border scenario with 3 different countries participating: Spain, Belgium, and Italy. We have 1 public and 3 private institutions participating in the demo. 4 different types of credentials are used. We use a verifiable identity, and then we use educational credentials. We use a verifiable academic ID, a verifiable diploma, and a verifiable transcript of records. In our scenario, a lot of verifiable credentials are exchanged cross-border with Eva. I'm Eva, always in the center of the exchange. So Eva is a Spanish citizen who obtains a bachelor diploma at the University Rovira i Virgili in Spain. She uses her Spanish verifiable identity and her verifiable bachelor diploma to apply for a master degree at KU Leuven in Belgium. During her master program at KU Leuven, Eva goes on exchange to Unibo in Italy, and she will use her KU Leuven verifiable academic ID to onboard easily at the receiving university. And through a verifiable transcript of a record issued by Unibo, she can easily share her obtained credits with the home university KU Leuven to finally obtain a verifiable master diploma at KU Leuven. Eva uses portable, shareable, verifiable credentials during her study abroad, and thereby she's always in the center of the exchange of her personal information. The EBSI infrastructure is needed to verify the credentials when shared with a verifier. So to enable that, to enable this verification as a prerequisite, all the universities and the Royal Mint of Spain must be onboarded on EBSI as trusted issuers. And to verify the trustworthiness of the credentials, the verifier will consult the decentralized trusted registries on the blockchain. Let's walk through our multi-university pilot. We use verifiable credentials empowered by EBSI. This has been explained in an excellent way before, but it will not hurt to shortly repeat again. So an issuer issues a verifiable credential to a student. The credential is stored in the personal wallet of the student. 1 or more credentials are shared by the student with a verifier, through a verifiable presentation, and the decentralized registries on the blockchain are used by the verifier to check the trustworthiness of the verifiable presentation. What do we need for this scenario to work? First of all, we need a digital enterprise wallet for our universities to issue verifiable credentials. We also need a digital user wallet for our students to store the verifiable credentials. In addition, these wallets must be EBSI compliant. We choose to work with the Spanish service provider Gattaca for both our enterprise wallet as well as our student wallets. A second prerequisite before we can start working with verifiable credentials empowered by EBSI is the onboarding of our universities as trusted issuers in the decentralized trusted registries on the blockchain. How does this onboarding work? For the Royal Spanish Mind, for example, first, the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Digital Transformation in Spain must be onboarded on EBSI as a trusted accreditation organization. Onboarding the ministry means the creation of an EBSI compliant DID for the ministry, the registration of that DID on the blockchain, the accreditation of the ministry to accredit other legal entities to issue verifiable identities, and the registration of this accreditation in the Trusted Accreditation Organization registry on the blockchain. Once the Ministry of Digital Transformation is registered as a trusted accreditation organization, this ministry can accredit the Royal Spanish Mind to issue verifiable identities. The Royal Spanish Mind is registered in the DID registry and the Trusted Issuer Registry together with the accreditation to issue verifiable IDs. So this is the onboarding for the Royal Spanish Mind. The same onboarding process is done for the University Rovira i Virgili, but there EQUAR, the European Quality Assurance Register for Higher Education, serves as the accreditation organization, and URV is accredited to issue verifiable educational credential, academic IDs and diplomas. The Italian Trusted Accreditation Organization for Unibo has not yet been defined. EQUAR cannot be used since the university is not registered in this database, so it will probably be the Ministry for Education or the Department for Digital Transformation, but for this moment in pre-production, the EBSI admin serves as a trusted accreditation organization for Unibo. And for the onboarding of KU Leuven as a trusted issuer, again, EQUAR serves as a trusted accreditation organization. Okay, so after installing the EBSI conformant enterprise wallets and the onboarding of our universities on EBSI, we can start issuing verifiable credentials empowered by EBSI. So let's try to do this in a real demo. It's always risky, a real demo, but I will try. Okay, so our demo is about studying abroad. My name is Eva and I'm a Spanish citizen. In a first step, I want to have a verifiable identity in my user wallet on my mobile phone. The Royal Spanish Mind offers a service to request such a verifiable identity credential empowered by EBSI. Let's see how this works. As a prerequisite, you have to install an EBSI conformant user wallet on your mobile phone. If you haven't done that yet, you scan the QR code, which brings you to the App Store, where you can download the Gattaca user wallet. But as you can see, I already have a Gattaca wallet on my mobile phone with just one email credential in it. Before I can request a verifiable identity, I need to authenticate myself based on a qualified certificate of a natural person. The Royal Spanish Mind offers such certificates to all Spanish or foreign citizens in possession of a national identity card or a residence card. And with this certificate, you can prove your identity securely online. So I will use my qualified certificate of a natural person to authenticate myself online. After successful authentication, a QR code with a request for a verifiable ID is generated. I will scan this QR code with my wallet. I'm asked to share an email credential, and when I give consent, I prove control over my DID in my wallet and submit a request for a verifiable identity to the Royal Spanish Mint. I'm notified my request needs to be validated, but normally only seconds later, I already receive my credential in my wallet. If you look at the details of this verifiable identity, it contains the personal identifier and a limited set of personal data like family name and first name. You also see the issuer of this credential and the status of this credential. So I now have my identity in my user wallet on my mobile phone, and I can share this credential with third parties to prove my identity. And verification of the trustworthiness of this credential is supported by the EBSI network. I'm also an active student at URV. I'm an undergraduate enrolled in a bachelor program to become a technical engineer. The university offers a virtual campus to their students, but this virtual campus can only be accessed based on a verifiable academic ID. As an active student, I can request such an academic ID on the website of the university. I request my academic ID by scanning the QR codes. Oh, I will try again. Okay, I open my wallet again. And let's try it again. Oh. I will try it once more. Okay. Yes, so I requested my academic ID by scanning the QR code, and as you can see, now I'm asked to provide my verifiable identity. When I share my verifiable identity, the university will check the trustworthiness of the verifiable identity by consulting the trusted registries on the blockchain. So the signatures within the credential are checked, as well as the trustworthiness of the issuer, which is in this case, the Royal Spanish Mint. When the verifiable identity is validated, the university also checks whether I'm an active student or not. And if so, the university issues a verifiable academic ID. If you go to the details of this academic ID, you find the European Student Identifier of URV in this credential. In this demo, the verifiable academic ID of URV is used to access the virtual campus of the university. So let's log into the virtual campus of the university. This is again easy. I scan the easy login QR code. I'm asked to share my academic ID. The academic ID is verified by the university, and when the credential is successfully verified, the shared credential is linked to the university, and I'm logged in to the virtual campus room. In the wallet, I can see at all times which credentials I shared with which verifiers. You can see it in the services section. At this moment, for example, I have shared my verifiable academic ID with the University Rovira I Virgili. I'm now logged in to the virtual campus and I can, for example, go to my profile where I can consult my study progress. And at the end of my study, when I graduate, magna cum laude, I can request a verifiable diploma. And therefore, I scan again the QR code. I give consent to share my academic ID, proof control over my DID in my wallet, and submit a request for a verifiable diploma. I'm notified that my request needs to be validated. The university checks my academic ID, creates a digital diploma, and signs it. And moments later, I already receive my verifiable diploma in my wallet. If you go to the details of the diploma, the data scheme for a diploma and especially the supplement is very complex, and therefore at this moment it is displayed in JSON format, but we have to think about a better representation of complex credentials in the user wallet. Okay, well, I enjoyed my student life at URV in my home country, but as a European citizen, I would like to explore the world, starting with a master program at a university in another European country. And the KU Leuven in Belgium seems like an excellent choice, not only because it's located in Leuven, which is a beautiful city. They also offer excellent education, and they offer a simplified application procedure based on verifiable credentials. In the simplified application process, KU Leuven asks to share a verifiable identity and a verifiable diploma as an admission requirement to enroll for a master degree. So I scan the QR code to apply at KU Leuven. KU Leuven asks me to share my verifiable identity and my diploma. I give consent, proof control over my DID, and submit the request for enrollment in the Master Business Information System Engineer in Leuven. Now I'm notified that my request is in progress. And as you can see on this website, I shared my identity information and my diploma information. So the student administration receives all the information in a standardized format, conform the European learning model. What you see in this on this website is a limited representation of the diploma. The diploma credential provides much more information than what is displayed here. It includes the type and level of qualification awarded, the institution that issued the qualification, the content of the courses and the results gained, but it also contains details of the national education system, for example. At the end of the admission process, when I am admitted to and enrolled into a KU Leuven program, I receive a notification that my KU Leuven verifiable academic ID is available in my user wallet. When we go to the details of this academic ID, you now see that it is the KU Leuven European Student Identifier. During my stay at KU Leuven, I'm encouraged to go on exchange to one of our 11 Una Europa partner universities, and I choose to apply for a 6-month stay at the University of Bologna in Italy. I will use my KU Leuven verifiable academic ID with my European student identifier in it to onboard at Unibo. This European student identifier really supports and eases international student mobility. So I go to the Unibo Una Europa exchange portal and click the apply with a verifiable student ID. A QR code is generated. For easy sign up, I scan the QR code with my wallet. I'm prompted to select my academic ID of KU Leuven. When I give consent, Unibo will verify that my academic ID is present in a pre-existing list of Erasmus students. And since I'm present in Unibo's list of exchange students, I'm successfully signed in to the virtual campus of Unibo. And now I can access Unibo services. I can, for example, generate a Unibo account. The portal will send, in this case, a message to my home university student email address containing a username and a password of the new Unibo account, which can then be used to access services offered by Bologna. At the end of my 6 months period at Bologna, I want a verifiable transcript of records for the courses I attended. So I press the Issue a Verifiable Transcript of Record button. I scan the QR code. I'm prompted to select my academic ID again, and when I give consent, Unibo verifies this academic ID and looks up the corresponding student account in the backend system. A transcript of records conform the European learning model is then generated for me, containing the courses I attended and the credits I obtained. And the transcript of records is then signed by the enterprise wallet of Unibo. I'm notified that my verifiable transcript of records is ready to be stored in my wallet. And on the website, you see the program, the European Student Identifier, and the credits I obtained during the Erasmus period at Unibo. I can now share my transcript of a record with my home university, KU Leuven. So I go back to KU Leuven in Belgium and I share my verifiable transcript of record with my home university just by scanning the QR code with the request. KU Leuven asks me to share the transcript of records as well as my academic ID. I give consent, and the claims are automatically verified and powered by the EBSI network and stored in my student file. The credits obtained in Unibo are now uploaded at KU Leuven. And finally, after 2 happy years in Belgium and Italy, I obtain a master degree and request KU Leuven for a verifiable master diploma. I scan the QR code, authenticate myself based on my academic ID, and I receive my verifiable diploma of KU Leuven in my wallet. A simplified representation of the diploma is displayed on the website. So the master diploma is issued by KU Leuven and contains also the courses that I obtained at Unibo. So based on a bachelor diploma from URV, a Belgian master diploma, and even credits obtained in Italy, which future employer in any other country in Europe would not want to hire me? So the world is at my feet and my credentials are on my mobile phone. Okay, that's the demo. I will share my presentation again. Just to summarize. Okay, so imagine that all of this is actually used to manage mobility between Una Europa universities and other educational institutions involved in Erasmus. This way of sharing digital credentials reduces processing time and improves the reliability of the student onboarding at a university. So by using a verifiable identity, you avoid the need of face recognition of the incoming student. By using data from the verifiable identity and the verifiable academic ID, you can make a faster and reliable registration of the incoming student into the receiving university. So time is reduced, let's say from 2 days to a few minutes. Also, by issuing a verifiable transcript of records, time is reduced and reliability is increased for the Erasmus credits recognition at the home university. So no more paper PDF certificates exchanged between the home and the receiving university. And the SSI approach allows students to have all the verifiable credentials in one place, the personal wallet, to control these credentials and share them with verifiers based on selective disclosure. So Europe will become a better and certainly happier place for both the students and our administrations. So let's build a digital Europe together. I really would like to thank my project group, the EBSI support team, and last but not least, our Spanish service provider, Gattaca, for all the support in setting up this pilot. Thank you.